I'm going to delete everything over here and let's create a new 3D scene. Let's call it world. You can call it anything you want, but I like to call it world. And now I'm going to create some folders in the file system. So right click and new folder. I'm going to call it scenes and let's make another one for scripts. Now let's save our word scene. To do that, you can either go to this scene, save scene, or you can simply press Ctrl and S. This window will pop up. Here you can give your file a name. tscn is the extension for the scenes. I'm going to go into the scenes folder and save it there. As you can see, we have the word scene saved over here. Now let's add a cube that can be used as a ground. To add more nodes in the scene, we simply click on the root node, click on this plus button over here, and right here we are going to search for CSG box 3D. CSG box can be used for making quick prototypes of the levels. Select it over here and click create. I'm going to rename it to ground. You can resize the cube by dragging these little handles. I want them to snap with the grid of the editor. So how can we do that is basically very simple. You just go in the toolbar and enable this use snap option. This will now snap with the grid. Okay, I'm going to make it something like this, and let's also make it bigger in this area as well. I'm also going to move it a little bit further so that I can add my camera over here. To add a camera, you simply do the same thing. You select the root node, press this plus icon, search for the camera 3D and just add it. A shortcut to add nodes is Ctrl A. You just simply press Ctrl A and it will open up this menu. And then you can just do search for anything you want to add and then simply add it. Okay, so we have the camera added right over here. If I move it a little bit up, you can see this is our camera. Now I want to set up the camera while previewing what it's gonna look like in the game. So to do that, I have to get a second view. Go to this view and enable these two viewports. The shortcut is Ctrl plus 2. So Ctrl 1 is one viewport and Ctrl plus 2 is two viewports. And now while the camera is selected in the second viewport, I am going to enable this preview. Now I can work on the camera while seeing the preview inside of this second viewport. So I'm going to adjust the camera a little bit. I'm going to move it down a little bit and I'm going to rotate it like this. So it's facing a little bit downwards. The camera is now set up, so I'm just going to go back into the one viewport. And let's save the scene by Ctrl S. Now let's run the game and see if our camera works. To run the game, you simply press this play icon over here or press F5 on your keyboard. When you press the F5 for the first time, you will see this option over here. It says no main scene has ever been defined, select one. So you have to select a main scene so that every time you press F5 or that play button, that scene will run. So to select, you just simply click on this select current, or if you have multiple scenes and you want to select the scene, you can simply click on this select and then select the scene you want. So I want this word.tscn as my main scene, so I'm just going to select it and click open. And now the game will run with the main scene. But as you notice over here, there are no sky and there is no lighting because right now in the editor there is no light or the environment. The game is currently looking something like this. You can turn on and off the environment and the sky by these two buttons. Okay, so now let's add our own environment and a directional light. To do so, simply just go over here, press Ctrl A, search for a directional light and create it. And as you can see, we got our light over here. Let's rotate it so that it's facing downwards like this. Let's add a word environment node. So the word environment node can be used for post-processing, and it also contains the sky and all of the other stuff related to the environment. It's both used for 2D and 3D, so that's why it has two colors in its icon. The red color are used for 3D nodes and the blue one is used for the 2D nodes. So let's create a new environment by selecting this world environment, going into this environment, clicking on this, and then new environment. Click this to expand this more, and in the background set the mode to sky, and then in the sky create a new sky, click on it, add a new procedural sky material, and now you'll see the sky back again. So that's really nice. So now our world scene is set up and we can get into making the player scene.